All right, I have another YCS deck profile for you. I'm gonna give the floor to him. What's your name and what'd you do?
My name is Matthew Ellis, and me and my team scheme, we top 16 YCS Vegas.
And what'd you play?
I played the best deck, which was branded.
All right, let's jump right into it.
All right, 3 Allure, 1 Ad Libitum, 2 Tragedy. Those were my Despias. For the Albas and Friends, I did 2 Blazing Cartasia.
Kind of starting there. I know that's a little different. How was the 2 Cartasia for you?
I enjoyed 2 a lot, and the reason why is because if I played against Cash and I lost the die roll, I never wanted it to be one of the cards that got banished. I wanted to be able to have another card in my deck if one got banished.
And kind of on that same note, how about the 2 of the bird you were just showing
2
there?
birds. So I think this is going to be the new statement. You just want to be able to banish it off a Bestial to go full combo if you open up a Bestial bird and fusion. That way you can go Rinworm plus off that, bounce anything, and add a Bestial back to your hand. 1 Shrouded Dragon, 1 Spriggan's Kit, 2 Albaz.
Okay. Would you say that's probably going to be like pretty much the new standard or relatively close?
I think 2's right. I didn't like 3 when I was testing it. I felt like there's too many times that you'd open up 2. There's always the fear that 1's going to get banished off of a cash board. So that was the fear, but I think 2's is fine. Worst case scenario, you can use the Shrouded Dragon in the graveyard, or if it's on the field. So those 3 Nib.
How'd that do for you?
I thought Cash was going to be the best deck and the most popular deck in the room. Teams that played around it, Dominant Couch and them, they summoned 4 times, so that was the only team that we lost to. Other than that, Nib, I never hard drew Nib and couldn't use it, so it was a good choice. I still stand by it. Worst case scenario, it's a light in the deck. For the Bestial count, 3 Saronir, 2 Lebellion, and 1 Magnemite.
I'm sure people can be wondering kind of a little bit why or how this kind of new package has been working for this deck.
I think at first I was very skeptical about trying to minimize the Bestial count, but as the day went on and testing went on, the lower one was fine. The 1 Magnemite, just because they can search an Albaz or a Shrouded in the end phase. These get to any of your Bestials. Tributing over your Albion to set some branded loss or branded beast is good. And then this is probably the best Bestial for this deck, as it allows you to dump another Bestial card or branded spell or trap. So I thought those were key. And then the MVP of my deck for sure this weekend was Neospatian Aqua Dolphin.
Tell the people about this one.
So Brandon only loses to 1 card, which is Ash. We knew that it was going to be in the room all day. So with my team, we discussed a way to get the play around it. And then adding 3 fusion deployments really helps. The reason why is because it gets away from having to just normal summon this, but having a fusion monster in your deck that lists an Aqua Dolphin. So it gave me another target off a deployment, but all week long I ripped 4 Ashes, and if I didn't rip an Ash with the card, I got to play with perfect information.
Yep. No, that's just insane.
For the spells, I elected for no Super Poly, but 3 Allure. 1 Branded Red. I think I would probably cut this to 2. Branded Lost, MVP as well. Meltdown on Crack. Branded Regained. Branded in White. 3 Branded Opening. And then, of course, Branded Fusion.
And how was Branded in White for you? I know been seeing some rumbles about it, but traditionally, I know the deck didn't always play it.
So just having another card to make Chimera off of, or Mirror Jade. Your traditional route to Mirror Jade is no longer there. But if you can Cartasia summon Grand Ganal dump. Garua will give you a draw, Brandon and White. You're falling in your Garua. That will also give you Mirror Jade, and then if you have Regained up, Regain will put Fall in the back. So it's just some more draw cards. Last spells, 2 Book of Eclipse.
Cool.
Again,
self-explanatory on those.
The best thing in the room today was just making things go face down. Cash, so they wouldn't lock out your boards in the draw phase. It baited Ash once, which was good for me as well. Traps, 1 branded banishment, branded retribution, and then branded beast.
Cool. And what's the deck count?
45 in the main deck.
Cool.
So we'll go to side deck now. I was on 3 Lancia,
Okay.
3 D barrier, 1 expulsion, my 3rd book of Eclipse there, Contact C, 3 Twin Twisters, and then my expulsion target was the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare.
So I guess the 2 main things that people are going to want to know from this is first the one, how'd Contact C do for you?
Contact C was insane. We thought that a lot of people, if they were playing branded, they were not playing Spren, the Iron Dash Dragon, so it just stops them out. Another thing is, if they cast here, they lock themselves into Exceeds. You give them this, then they don't do anything else with it. So it just cuts them down.
And then, of course, the elephant in the room that everyone found out about that by the end of the tournament for sure was this. Explain this one.
I've won a couple regionals with an expulsion target with Ra's Disciple. This one was a better choice this event. Everyone was on book cards, Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, Book of Lunar. So this one, it doesn't activate when it's summoned. So when you give it to them, it just happens. Even if they book it, they just still can't special. A lot of times it played around evenlies, and then if you left 1 fusion up, expulsion attributing your fusion for a cost, got around using a Bestial to get out of that. So that's what that choice was, and a lot of times, games 3s, you just lock your opponent out of the entire game. It's a free win. It's an FTK.
Yep.
For my extra deck, 1 Quartus, 1 Libellion, 1 Garua, 2 Mirror Jades, Aquaneos,
Let's go.
Dragos Stapelia, an Alba Lenatus, 1 Masquerade, double Lindworm, double Albion, Chimera, and then a Grand Canal. If I would change anything, I think that I didn't miss Perskinian at all. But there were times that I did miss the Guardian Chimera. A lot of times, if Cash went first and Unicorned, this was what they always hit. I had a couple hit Libellion first that let me keep Guardian Chimera, and then, that came back to bite him in the ass. But that was the deck.
And so overall, what would you say? So what was the matchup for this that you personally faced?
Round 1, I aquaed off on some guy and figured out that I was playing Dynamorphia evenly, and I got to play around the evenly. I played against Tribe Brigade Sprite, a lot of Cash. No Despia. I didn't have 1 single mirror match the entire day. A couple of Sprites, 1 Tribe Brigade Sprite, and the rest were Cash.
Cool. And any kind of thing that surprised you or kind of stood out to you about this tournament?
A lot of people did not understand how the branded deck worked still. So that was a surprise for me. I saw a lot of people still having a high amount of Bestials, which surprised me, knowing that there's not really a lot of light and darks. But other than that, nothing really surprised me about it. Our team went in thinking that Cash was going to be the most represented in it, and it definitely was.
And really, to close it out, have any shout-outs?
Shout out to Team Unbound, Kevin Lee, Alex and Zach Perkins, Tony Watkins, Ara, and Alex that let me borrow some cards. They were with me the entire time. Shout out to them. Shout out to Team Scheme, Shannon and Wes. They were there for me. Willie Goff, Jay Barham, they let me borrow some cards as well. But anyone that spent time testing with me. And then, of course, Chris Lofton, been there through me day 1 with the branded stuff. So we went back and forth with some ideas. But that's pretty much it.
All right, awesome. Again, congratulations on the top. We're definitely proud of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the profile.
No problem.